Poirier's path to a title shot has been the second longest in the UFC history. Despite a 17-4 promotional record during nearly 9 years in the UFC octagon, it took a 5-fight winning streak, capped by a stunning unanimous decision victory over featherweight champ Max Holloway for the interim lightweight title. For much of the fight-friendly public to finally see him as one of the best in the world. Let's take a look at the path that got him where he is today.
MMA Fighter Spot? Man, that channel is fucking great.
Dustin Poirier's early days were spent in North Lafayette, Louisiana. It was rough, it was tough, and street fights were just part of the daily routine for him. But here's the thing, Dustin wasn't just another face in the crowd. Nope, by the time he was 10, he was already the undisputed champ of street boxing in his neighborhood. Tough as nails, right? Now let's fast forward a bit. Dustin's 18, and he's about to step into his first amateur fight. His girlfriend, Jolie, who's now his wife, drives him all the way from Louisiana to Arkansas. 6 hours on the road for his first real organized fight. You can imagine the nerves, the excitement. But guess what? Dustin wins, and just like that, his MMA career kicks off. Dustin's professional MMA career kicked off back in 2009 with a fight against Aaron Suarez. At the UFC MMA 7, Dustin knocks Aaron out in the first round. Talk about making an entrance, right? A month later, he was back in the ring, this time against Nate Jolly. Here, Dustin wins again, this time by submission in the second round. Now, Dustin's on a roll. He racks up 5 more wins, making his record a solid 7-0, all by mid-2010. But then he faces his first defeat against Danny Castillo in the WEC. But you know what they say about falling down, right? It's all about how you get back up. And Dustin did just that, bouncing back up with a TKO win over Zach Mickelwright.
That's it.
Fast forward to October 2010, the WEC and UFC merge, and all WEC fighters, including Dustin, are transferred to the UFC. At UFC 125, Dustin steps in for an injured Jose Aldo and wins against Josh Grisby by unanimous decision. He then goes on to win several more fights, even earning a submission of the night bonus for his win against Max Holloway. But then Dan faces Chan Chung Jung, also known as the Korean Zombie, in his first main event. Despite a tough fight, Dustin loses in the 4th round. But hey, every cloud has a silver lining. This fight was so good that it was named Fight of the Year by several magazines. Dustin doesn't let the loss get to him. He comes back strong. He comes back winning several more fights, including a rematch against Eddie Alvarez. And a TKO win over Justin Gaethje. He even got a shot at the UFC Lightweight Championship against Max Holloway in April 2019.
Eddie hasn't been right since I hit him with that last left hand either, so give him a break.
And yet again, he wins, snapping Holloway's 13-fight winning streak. Poirier said, no matter how good you are, some fighter will just have your number. And it seems Dustin is that guy for Max. Unfortunately for Dustin, he gets the chance to fight for the title against the lightweight GOAT Khabib. And with everybody else, he gets mauled and submitted via a rear naked choke. But the journey doesn't stop there. Dustin goes on to fight several more bouts, including a thrilling fight against Dan Hooker that earns him his 7th Fight of the Night award. And then the big one, a rematch against Conor McGregor at UFC 257. The first time they met was back in 2014 at UFC 178. Both fighters were in their mid-20s and hungry for a win. McGregor, being McGregor, was all about showmanship.
Dustin thinks it's all talk. Dustin thinks it's all talk, but when he wakes up with his nose plastered on the other side of his face, he's gonna know it's not all talk.
But when it came to the fight, he backed it up. He took down Dustin in just 1 round by winning by knockout. McGregor's record claimed that to time to 16-2, and it seemed like the rivalry was over before it had started. But hold on, because this story is far from over. Fast forward to 2021, 7 years after their first fight, Dustin and Conor meet again at UFC 257. This time, the tables turn. Dustin, who's come a long way since their first fight, finishes the fight in just 2 rounds. And just like that, the score is now even, and Dustin becomes the first person to KO McGregor. Quite an accomplishment. Now, the stage is set for the trilogy fight. 6 months later, UFC 264, Dustin and Conor face off for the 3rd time.
Not McGregor fast, McGregor sleep.
The anticipation is high, to say the least. The stakes are higher, but the fight ends in an unexpected way. McGregor suffers a leg injury in the 1st round, and the fight is stopped. Dustin is declared the winner by the doctor's stoppage, and just like that, Dustin takes the lead in their trilogy and revenges the loss that was on his mind for the past 9 years. But they say revenge is a meal best served cold, and Dustin obliviously agrees. But now there's another challenge ahead of Poirier, the Violence Weight Championship. Now, as we said previously, this isn't the first time Dustin and Justin have faced off in the octagon. They fought back in 2018. Let me tell you, it was a barn burner. Dustin emerged victorious, stopping Justin Gaethje by a 4th round TKO. But this time around, well, both fighters have come a long way since then. Dustin knows exactly what he's in for. He's expecting a very violent night, and he's ready for the fight. He's been through the ringer before in tough fights against the likes of Michael Chandler, Dan Hooker, and Max Holloway. And while he'd love a flawless performance, he's prepared to dig deep and face whatever adversity comes his way. So what can we expect from this fight? Well, Dustin's excited to see how this is going to play out. Will Justin wrestle more? Will he kickbox with Dustin again? Only time will tell. But one thing's for sure, with 25 minutes on the clock, it's going to be one hell of a fight. Let's just hope that none of them get their lights shut off too soon. But hey, before you go, do us a favor if you enjoy this video and want to keep up with all things MMA, hit that like button and subscribe to our channel. We're on a mission to reach out to 1,000 subscribers, and we need your help to get there. So go ahead, hit that subscribe button and join us on this journey. Trust us, you don't want to miss out on what we got coming up next. See you in that video.